Hey everybody, Casey here with Life Abstract Gaming, and today I gotta talk about a game that's been 4 years in the making and was finally released on March 3rd alongside Nintendo's new console, the Switch. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've been playing through it on the Wii U since I don't see a good reason to pick up a Switch just yet. I detailed why in my launch lineup video, but also because there doesn't seem to be any significant difference between the two versions of the game. As per Digital Foundry, who did a really in-depth graphics and feature comparison, I'll put a link to their video in the description. The main difference is an upscale to a 900p resolution when playing on the Switch in docked mode, but both versions actually seem to run best in 720p, and most people will perceive virtually no difference whatsoever anyway. That being said, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is amazing. I'm actually finding it pretty hard to stop playing once I start, so I've been ending up staying up till 2 or 3 a.m., even without realizing. It's no real surprise that I'm not the only one who's impressed with this game. Breath of the Wild actually surpassed Grand Theft Auto 4 for highest number of perfect reviews, as per Metacritic, which is a well-known review aggregate site. GTA 4 is sitting at 48 perfect scores, and at the time of my filming this, Breath of the Wild had received its 49th. Keep in mind, these aren't fan reviews. These are reputable gaming and tech sites, all in agreement that this game is a must-play. It's still going. It's a little hard to describe what exactly makes this iteration of Zelda so good. On a basic level, it's still very recognizably Zelda in the kinds of quests you need to do and the structure of the story. You complete dungeons, you solve puzzles, you get upgrades and find secrets, but there are a number of changes that work to upgrade the gameplay, while at the same time make great use of the fact that you're in a large open environment. One of the first things you'll likely notice is that you won't find hearts to replenish your health. They tell you pretty early on that eating food like apples or mushrooms will heal you, and then you learn that cooking is extremely important and a fairly deep mechanic. You'll spend time discovering recipes that make the best use of the tons of ingredients you'll start finding, as they'll have much needed effects on you like temporary extra hearts or stamina. Another change that stuck with me was how Link upgrades his hearts and stamina now. Instead of finding fragments of heart containers, you'll be directed to find and complete shrines, which are littered all over the world. They're like micro dungeons that tend to focus on a single ability or concept, and once you complete the puzzle, you're rewarded with a spirit orb. After collecting 4, you can upgrade either your hearts or your stamina at designated statues. There's even a slightly hidden mechanic that lets you swap hearts for stamina and vice versa, if you feel the need to change them up, but I won't spoil where that is. My favorite change is the way combat is handled. Most enemies are a real threat now, and many can kill you in just one shot. You need to be smart when engaging multiple foes and use your tools and the environment to give you an edge. Link can do things now like push boulders down hills or light arrows on fire to hit explosive barrels. It's even possible to tie a remote bomb to a balloon and use a leaf weapon to blow it into position over an enemy camp. The combat really lets the player get creative, and they'll need to be for some of the bigger enemies. It sort of feels like Nintendo took these tried and true staples of the Zelda series and worked to open them up and make them far deeper, which ends up making them take longer to accomplish. You can and likely will spend hours just hunting, gathering, and cooking. You'll also spend hours searching out and completing shrines without ever advancing the main story forward. It does skirt the line of being tedious, and maybe some people will feel that it is, but personally, I'm hooked. I don't even realize the amount of time passing by while I'm just exploring the world for new shrines and other secrets. The open world aspect is something fairly new for this series. It was basically in the original Legend of Zelda, but it hadn't really been explored again by the series until now. The open world concept is commonplace in several different games and has been for over a decade now, so not only is it not new, it's been done better in some other instances. Regardless of that, Zelda uses it in its formula to great effect. I find it hard to imagine any other Zelda release after Breath of the Wild taking a step backwards and eliminating it, so it can only get deeper going forward, possibly even in the form of DLC, which is expected for this title. I'd argue that it's the combination of that classic Zelda formula mixed with an impressive open world that makes Breath of the Wild better than its two parts. So, have you been playing the new Zelda? Do you feel any differently than I do about it, or do you have no interest in it for some reason? Let us know. We're listening.